guys, welcome back to another Personal Opinion Podcast episode. It's Lauryn and Whitney.
It's Whitney and Lauryn.
And we are back. Again.
So back.
Again.
Guess who's back?
Back again. It's us, Lauryn and Whitney and Lauryn.
And today, we're talking about boundaries.
And
set them
dating.
in your relationships.
Yes.
Lauryn, do you want to kick it off? Yeah.
So I'm going to discuss, or we are going to I'm going to read, and then we're going to discuss the 5 top boundaries in relationships.
Yep.
So, emotional boundaries. This involves protecting your mental and emotional well-being by setting limits on how much of your emotional energy you share with others. It means you don't need to absorb others' stress or negativity and can say no to requests for emotional support that would overwhelm them.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal to me in my friendships and relationships.
I think a really big part of that is having the communication skills to tell your partner, hey, today has been really, really rough for me.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to affect our night together or our time together.
Yeah.
So I just need to take a few deep breaths. I need to wash this away, but I needed you to know that this happened.
Yeah.
And then letting it float by.
Moving
on.
Yeah.
Not letting it linger.
Yeah. I mean, also another thing is I get tired of people really quick. I don't know about you, but I can wear down, and obviously everybody has a social battery.
Yeah.
So I feel I don't know. I'm just the type that's I don't need to see you every day.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be healthy for us to see each other every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm definitely more of we see each other a couple times a week. We can hang out, whatever that looks like, but not to the, like you said, obviously understanding and communicating what we each have going on.
Yep.
And also being able to be you know what, I don't think it's best for us to hang out tonight. I'm really tired. I don't want to, just be a drag all the time.
Yeah.
So if you, I don't know. I'm just really big on that because right when I get tired of somebody, I need a break from them. And I never ever want to get to that point with my friends and obviously my boyfriend, if that's the case.
Yeah. I think a big one of that for me is I don't need to be texting you or calling you every single second of every single day.
Yeah.
We've both got stuff that we are doing, and
which is as you should.
I'll call you at lunch.
Yeah.
When I'm taking my lunch break, and we'll talk then. And then we'll stay in touch, but we don't need to be texting or calling every single second of every single day.
Yeah.
Because you need to have stuff going on. And if you don't, if we're both free, I don't know, have a life.
Yeah. Really though, for sure, have a life.
And if it's a trust issue, then we shouldn't be in a relationship. If it's I need to know where you are and what you're doing. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, the heck you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
You don't need to know every single person that I talk to at work.
Every call you made. Oh, just made my second call. Just made my third call. Just made my fourth call.
You don't need a background check of every single person. There should be enough trust there that
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Be for real.
I'm big on emotional boundaries.
Yeah.
And I'm big on taking care of yourself too. If you're not going to be on your phone that day or you need a break or anything like that, take it, please.
Yeah.
You're not making me mad. I want you to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And obviously we are getting to our mid-20s, I
Yeah.
would hope that we know how to take care of ourselves.
And I think there's a level of maturity required to be like, hey, I've got a really busy 2 hours ahead of me. Like, if you text me and I don't respond, that's why. Like, I got back-to-back
Yeah.
meetings. Or if you're younger and you are in college and playing sports or whatever, being like, hey, I've got practice at this time and this time today. Like, I'll text you before and after, but just know I'm not going to have my phone on me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Just stuff like that.
Absolutely. For sure. Ready for the second one?
I'm ready.
Physical boundaries. These define your comfort level with physical touch and proximity. It's about respecting personal space and ensuring you're comfortable with the level of physical contact you're willing to engage in.
I think this is a really big one because that
Definitely.
conversation and how it's approached and how it's handled, I think should make or break a relationship.
Yeah.
If you are setting a physical boundary with someone and explaining it in a certain, like, in a healthy way and explaining why you have that boundary, there should be no pushback whatsoever.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
None.
Yeah. No
None.
trying to move the line. Nothing.
I will say I had a conversation with a friend where she said that she always felt like anytime her partner was trying to hold her hand, it's because they wanted more. And so she tried to set that boundary. She's like, I'm not comfortable with that. And he was like, no, when I hold your hand, it's just because I want to hold your hand. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Cool.
You can hold my hand.
But she was like, I need to set this boundary because it leads to this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
I just want to hold your hand. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh, okay. Well, as long as you're like fine with the other boundaries that I set, then we're good.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's good. We're chilling.
Yeah. I definitely feel like there should be a conversation every single time. Like,
Yeah.
whether you're in the talking stage, whether you're getting to know that person, you need to set, like, but be firm and confident in those.
Absolutely.
Like, you need to give no gray area.
Well, and if your partner, if you try to set that boundary and say like, hey, I'm not comfortable doing this or this, like, their response speaks
Yes.
to their intentions.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they say, oh, absolutely, I 100% understand where you're coming from, and like, if that's a boundary that you need, then we'll respect it. And
Yeah.
like, I'm okay with that. Perfect. Chef's gifts.
Yeah.
If they're like, well, but what if the word but comes out of their mouth,
Yeah.
drop them. Leave. Leave.
Yeah.
Because that physical boundary is an important one that you set for your mental health and for your safety and for your space. And if they
Yeah.
can't respect that and honor that, then they have no business
Right. It's true.
being in your business.
And they, like, you also need to respect each other, and that's a strong level of respect, is if you can respect what your partner is saying enough to live by that, and always make sure that person is still at that point, never try to push, like, let them initiate certain things, like if they have a lot of strong boundaries. But yeah, that's huge.
I think the way that your partner handles that conversation just speaks so loudly to where the relationship is going.
Yeah.
And how they're going to handle other hard conversations.
Yeah.
Not even hard conversations, but just like, if you tell them that you need something and they're not willing to give it to you, then they're not going to give you other things you need.
Yeah. That's true.
Like, I don't know. I think that that's really simple. That's if you tell them like, hey, I in order to feel safe and secure, I need XYZ, or
Yeah.
I need us to not XYZ, then their response should be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Would you feel comfortable sharing one boundary that you have? Just one. It could be small, very small. Or no?
Will you go first? Do you have one in mind?
I do have one. One of my boundaries is not spending the night with each other until we're married. That is a boundary.
I think mine, a big one for me, is physical touch in public spaces. So,
Yeah.
like, holding hands when we're walking places, fine. good. Maybe a quick little peck here and there, fine, good.
Yeah.
Especially if we're like if we are arriving together, like a hug and a kiss is fine. Or if we're about to separate, giving a quick smooch is fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be making out in the cereal aisle.
Right. Nice.
Like,
no, yeah, I agree with that.
That's a big one for me. Is like physical touch in.
I never ever want to
public
make
spaces.
other people feel
Yes.
awkward.
Yeah.
Like, and I never ever want to make my friends feel like they're just joining in.
Yeah.
On me and my boyfriend's time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm definitely big on inclusion.
Yeah.
Too. So, yeah. Good. I like yours. That's good.
Ooh, can I bring up another boundary that I have?
Please.
Being able to talk about, like, my time with my friends and my time with my friends that you're invited to.
Okay.
That, like, you are a part of the group and being together.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm big on, first of all, not having to ask permission. Not saying, can I game with the boys?
No. Don't ask.
When my partner says that, I'm like, you don't have to ask for my permission.
No.
If you tell me that you're doing something and I absolutely have a problem with it, then I'll be like, hey, we haven't seen each other in 2 weeks and this is our only night to see each other. Is there any way that we could like push that back or even maybe shorten the gaming time so that we can spend time together? But I'm never going to be like,
in a nice way. Not pouting.
Yeah, no, not pouting, but being like...
not pouting or being mad about it in a nice way.
But explaining my feelings in a way that's like, I get that you want to spend time with your friends. I do. Is there any way that maybe we could...
I would like to see
we could do something.
Is that possible?
Like, we could do both. You could do both. You could spend time with them and then spend time with me.
Yeah.
But I'm also really big on... I'm never going to be like, can I go to dinner with my girls? No, I'll be like, hey.
No. Hey,
my girls and I are doing this.
Yeah. My friends... I'm going to go hang out with my friends.
And they'll be like, yeah, sure, fine, go. And then later I'll be like, do you want to join? I'll be like, no. You already said that you were doing this alone. It's like, I know, but they said that they wanted you there. I'll be like, no.
Has there ever been a time that your friends have invited your boyfriend somewhere and you kind of didn't want him to come?
Yeah.
Nice.
Was
I there?
What?
Was I there?
You are my friends, dude.
No. Was I there when your boyfriend came and hung out with us, but you didn't want him? I know I'm your friend. But have your friends ever invited your boyfriend to come with you guys? And you said yes. But was I there when he was invited, but you didn't really want him to be there?
I think now I'm at a place where, like, if I don't want my partner there...
Like, it's up to you.
It's up to me.
Okay.
It's my decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
If my partner...
I'll stop inviting your boyfriend places with us. I just like him to feel included.
No, not like recently. Okay.
No, I got you. No,
I'm just saying in the past.
Yeah. No,
with past.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even times that, like, he would invite himself and I'd be like, fine, whatever, sure.
Oh.
That's the worst.
Never do. That's the
worst.
That is the worst.
Just let your partner have friends. Let them just be.
And there's like, and it has nothing. It's not like they're gonna go to your friends and talk crap on you the whole time. Like that's not
why we hang out with our girls.
No.
It's just time out. Girls can hang out and talk about things other than boys.
I have a question for you, and I think that this could be a whole. That's true. But this could probably be a whole episode. Can girls have guy friends and guys have girlfriends or friend girls?
Ooh. I think it all depends on the situation. Because I have guy friends at work, but I don't hang out with them outside of work.
Okay.
I feel like that's a boundary that I set. If
Have you ever had like close guy friends though? That like would be there if you went to go hang out with a group of friends, there was guys there. Or like if either one of you needed advice, you texted each other. Or like if you just kind of kept up with anybody.
The only guy friends that I've had were gay. And so it was never...
That's fair.
I never No. So I've never really had, like, guy friends. Like, the
Okay.
only guy friend that I have is gay.
That's fair. I have guy friends.
And so,
I've always had guy friends.
I mean, I don't...
I used to work out with guys. I mean, I've done projects with guys, and we've just stayed friends. Like,
Yeah, I've never really had, like, close guy friends.
yeah. I think you can. I think both can. So, that's all I'll say about that.
If my partner has... I think it's hard because there's so much that goes into it. Like, you know when your partner has a friend and that friend feels a certain way about them, like, you know. But also, like, if my partner has a friend that's a girl and she's spent time with me, or like we have a relationship and I feel comfortable with it, then it's fine. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like there's certain steps that you have to take when you have a partner to, like, keep them. I don't know. I think it can go either way, but I also think, like, trust your intuition.
Well, here's what I think. If I agree, it depends on the situation. Although, like, as you're building trust, as your relationship builds with that person, like, I'm gonna want to meet their friend girls.
Yeah.
Because I just think of them as a friend. Like, I want my significant other's friends to like me. Because if they're going to be around me, and if I'm going to be around them, like, I'm sure it would mean a lot to my significant other if I was friends with all of them, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's obviously a trust thing, and I would want honesty, obviously, but also on my standpoint, I would never keep my guy friends if I felt like they were threatening my relationship or disrespecting my relationship.
Yes.
Somebody who disrespects your relationship is not your real friend.
Yes.
So, like, my guy friends, never have they ever disrespected any of my relationships.
Mm-hmm.
They have, like, we've never even hugged. Like so it's just like,
well, and
stuff like that is a boundary, but also I expect trust in knowing this guy wouldn't be my guy friend if he was always trying to hit on me.
Yeah.
Because that's, to me, I get annoyed by that.
Well, and I think that might be an important part of it is, like, if you have friends of the opposite sex while you're in a relationship, there might not be boundaries that need to be set, like, with your part. Like, it's a boundary that you have to set with the friend.
Right.
Of, like, we're not gonna hug, or we're not gonna hang out, just the two of us.
Yeah.
I don't know, just stuff like that. Like, being able to have those conversations with your friends of being like, in order to respect my relationship, I need to do this.
Yeah. Well, and I think, like, I'm going to go back to if they're your real friend, they won't put you in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, we would never put ourselves in a room together, just us two. Like, we would, if we were going to hang out, we would either be going to meet other friends, hang out in a big group, or going to a restaurant to catch up, or, like, something like that. We would never put ourselves, like, oh, come over to my house. No.
Yeah.
Like, I would never put myself in that situation, and I would hope he would never put us in that situation.
Yeah.
So that's it's a boundary.
Yeah.
Next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Time boundaries. Time boundaries involve prioritizing your own time and schedule to avoid overcommitting or feeling overwhelmed by others' needs. This can mean declining invitations, setting aside time for self-care, or clearly communicating your availability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're busy.
Yeah.
You have to be picky with your time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Were we just talking about this?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the big one. Like,
yeah. You have to know when it's, like I said before, at our age, you kind of know how you flow.
Yeah.
You know how much you can take. You know if you can stack your days with plans and what days you shouldn't. And like if you have a busy day before, it's probably best for you to lay low the next day. Like that's how I work anyway. But like being able to be honest and be like, you know what, like I have this, and this the whole day. I don't think like I'll have the energy to do something in the evening. Like I don't think I'll want to, because I'll want to go home and rest and rejuvenate for the next day. Like, and that's another thing of like, if I'm going to hang out with somebody, I at least want to give them 70% of my energy.
Yeah.
Like I at least want to be rejuvenated enough that I can give something. And then I can actually be in the present and not be like, I'm so, like dozing off at dinner or something like that, you know? Like I want to be energized and I want to be ready to go.
I don't necessarily agree with that. At least, how many times have you and other people in our friend group come over to my house in the past and taken a nap on my couch?
It's fair.
Because it's just, I wouldn't
do that in a relationship. I wouldn't.
That's fair. I don't know. I think you get to a certain point, though, like, this is a forever partnership. Like, we're going to spend our life together. There are going to be days where I come home and take a nap.
Yeah.
Or
I also have the boundary, like, I mean, my significant other and I are majority out. Not in my house or in my space. So my nap would be taken separately, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
and then going anyway.
I like doing life together.
Yeah,
that's a really big one for me. Is like being able
100%.
to go to the grocery store, make dinner together, like just the little things. That are going to be the mundane. Of your forever.
And I think like that's a part I need to kind of be more open to, I guess. I've just never feel like, I mean, I went over to his house, he's cooked, whatever, we had dinner, sat down and had dinner together, stuff like, but not all the time.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily, like it's more of like a once every couple months thing. Not like, you know, anyway. But I want to, as I've been growing up, I want to incorporate more life things instead of, oh, let's go do this and make it a whole event. I guess like we can do more like
just life.
Yeah, like oh, you need to clean your house or your apartment. Let me come help. Yeah, like, stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah. Did you have anything else with time?
I think I've said my piece on this podcast. I think I've explained in great detail that you can chill.
Yeah. You can chill.
You can be in a healthy, loving relationship and
just be chill.
And just be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like just hang out.
Yeah.
Take a breath. Text him every once in a while. See each other whenever. I don't know. It's just, there's something just so calming about just being in a healthy relationship space where you can trust each other and just be and just do life together and
chill.
And just chill. Just chill.
And just be vibing. Okay, the fourth one is intellectual boundaries. This relates to respecting your own beliefs, thoughts, and opinions while also being able to engage in respectful conversations with people who may disagree.
I'm humming. Yeah, sorry.
I thought that was a phone. It means expressing your views confidently and not feeling pressured to change them. If you are in a relationship with someone who disagrees. Wow.
I think this one is really difficult nowadays with the political climate.
Yeah.
I am a firm believer that my friends and my family and my partner can have different beliefs than I do.
Yeah.
And we can still be friends.
Yeah.
And we can have conversations about politics or economics or foreign policy, whatever it is, and respect each other enough to disagree and be okay with that and still be in a relationship or in a
Yeah.
friendship or whatever that is.
And I think like that is the real definition of like the foundation of our friendship. Because when we used to sit at your house on the couch with two of our other friends,
Yeah.
like us four have such different outlooks. Like we have somebody from a preacher's kid to somebody who's dating a girl to somebody we were all student athletes. We all came from, three of us were born and raised in Oklahoma, one was not. Like completely different households,
Yeah.
completely different upbringings, like just we all four went to different high schools.
It's wild to me that like being able to respect one another's beliefs even when you disagree is uncommon.
Yeah.
Like that is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because you live your entire life meeting people who are different than you.
Yeah.
You spend your entire life being surrounded by people who have different experiences, different political beliefs, different spiritual beliefs, different
journeys.
Like, it's wild to me that it's not the bare minimum to respect each other enough to disagree and be okay with it and still have a relationship.
Yeah. And that's the thing of like the right and wrong. Like people think like just because they view something a certain way that they're right.
Yeah.
And so now we're living a right and wrong line.
Yeah.
Now it's like, nope, you're on the wrong side. I don't understand you. Why do you think that way? That's stupid. Like how could you what?
Yeah.
Like that just doesn't
It's not black and white.
What is right and wrong?
It's not black and white.
Somebody tell me.
And I think that's one of the things that I love about our relationship and the relationship we have with our friends is that we can be like, we can explain why we believe something or why we think a certain way, and the other person has the ability to be like, oh, I understand and I respect why you think that way.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree because my experiences are different.
Yeah.
And my belief background and why I think that way is different. So I don't necessarily agree with you, but I completely understand where you're coming from and why you believe what you believe.
Yeah. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's opened my mind to, oh, wow, like, I didn't know people thought that.
Yeah.
Or I didn't know, like, wow, I didn't think about it that way. And how many times in your life I said, wow, I haven't even thought about it that way?
Yeah. And I think it's so cool because now, like, I get to be around people that don't think exactly like me, and I have the ability to understand and empathize. And it was really funny. In volleyball, we called it holding space. We hold space for one another. I was like, this is a safe space. We're still going to be a team at the end of this. And I think that maybe that's how we approach those conversations with our partners. Like, you and me are a team. We're a team.
Yeah.
So us disagreeing about X, Y, or Z, or what you tell me in this safe space of us being together, like, we're still a team.
Yeah.
As long as we approach the conversation the right way and it doesn't end in us screaming and yelling our heads off at each other.
Yeah.
We can disagree.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Amen. Agreed.
Cool.
Fifth one?
Yeah.
Financial boundaries. Financial boundaries involve setting limits on your spending habits, shared finances, and personal possessions. This could mean setting individual spending limits, discussing shared financial goals, or making clear boundaries about lending or borrowing money.
Ooh.
So
I haven't even thought about lending or borrowing money. I would never borrow money from my partner.
No.
And I don't think I would ever lend money to my partner.
Yeah. Really?
There are other places you can get money. Don't come to me. Go to the bank. Go to your parents. Go to somewhere else. Don't
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, what if you and your partner disagree on a shared account of what that money's going to be spent on? How do you want to do that?
Right.
Yeah. I guess we could start there.
I actually I don't know.
Okay.
I think that's something I'm very open to discussing.
Okay.
We had a conversation earlier about what's the bare minimum and what's princess treatment. And
Yeah,
I think
we
when
wanna
it
make a
comes
whole episode
to
on that.
like shared finances, especially with a married couple, that's a really difficult one to talk about. I think it's also interesting. My 401k people are calling me.
Oh. What are the odds?
I think that's an interesting one because like I never heard about my parents' finances growing up, which I think was a blessing.
Yeah.
But I also don't understand because I look to my parents a lot in different aspects of their relationship because I want to replicate a lot of it. But that's one that I don't know how to replicate because I don't know how they handled it.
That's fair.
All of that being said, I don't know how I feel about shared accounts. I've had one conversation with my mom where she said something along the lines of like, I don't have my money and his money. Like we're
everything?
one. Like, well, and that's the like, we are one. We are a unit. Our money is our money. Like our mortgage is our mortgage that we pay.
Yeah. What about cars?
They do have separate cars. But even then, it's like, yeah, this is her
cars, or is it? Oh, that's my mom's car. That's my dad's car.
Well, we say mom and dad's car, but like,
I wonder if your mom says that's my car.
She does. Well, she is. She's like, this is my car and his car.
Oh, okay.
Well, and it's like, well, but that's the thing is like, it's not like this is. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, and like they have separate spaces of like her office, his office.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, if my dad needs to get somewhere and his car isn't working, he's gonna take her car.
Right.
So is it shared? Yeah.
Because no matter what, that house is theirs. Whether it's her office and his office.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that like the everyday use might be his and hers, but at the end of the day, like
I would want to talk to your mom about this.
Okay.
I just think it would be a fun conversation.
I think it would too.
Here's how I think I would do it. Do you want to hear mine? You didn't ask.
Yeah, I want to hear yours.
You didn't ask.
I do. I want to hear yours.
This is what I want to do now. Could it change? I'm also open.
Yeah.
But this is the best thing I've heard, I think. We both have our accounts, and our incomes come into those accounts. And then we both put a percentage of our income into one account.
Oh, I like that.
So we have a shared one.
I like that a lot.
We have a shared one. And so you're like, obviously there's always going to be that one person that makes more money. Mm-hmm. So that's why I would want to do it percentage based. Because if you make more money, then obviously your percentage is going to look like we have the same percentage, but you might be putting more in. Anyway.
I like that.
But like,
okay, so then what is that shared account spent on?
So it's like house, all utilities, all of our shared space. And then obviously if anything in the house needed to be fixed, whatever, all of that. And then I would say cars. I'd put cars in that too. Just because, like you said, like, I mean, I just think like, yeah, there's going to be her and his car.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
But like, hey, like, yeah, you can take my car today.
Yes.
Or, like.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is like when my mom got her last car, right? Like it was a joint decision that they made together. Like they went car shopping together.
Right.
It wasn't like, oh, she's going to go and buy it with whatever money she wants to use. No, it was like they're making that decision together. And it's a payment that they made or make, I don't know, together.
Yeah.
It's understood. I don't know if that makes sense.
And then I would just say, like, once again, guys, I mean, I'm no expert. I obviously don't know anything.
We're also not married, so.
Yeah, we also have never been through this. I would say everything's shared. Now, I would say separate, but I would also put groceries in the shared.
I was about to say, groceries.
Yeah,
or maybe even, like, dinners together every once in a while too.
Yeah, yeah. So the other stuff I would say, like if I wanted to go on a vacation with my friends, then that would be my money spent. Like my income percentage spent on that. So then like it still makes us both responsible.
Yeah.
For what, we're bringing to the table. Obviously, we have our money, but we also have hey, I'm going to hang out with the guys tonight. And then that's...
Well, and I also think there's a way that you could do that too of like, hey, let's have a financial goal that we want to hit, or let's have something that we want to do together, whether it be like a family vacation or whatever that is.
Yeah.
And be like, we're both going to pour into it this amount each month so that we can do this together.
Yeah.
But it's not like, hey, we want to do this, like, I'll pay for...
Right. No.
Whatever.
No. Yeah. Yeah. And I think I honestly, I don't know. I still don't know. But I still think at some point you probably just lose track.
Yeah.
It all just kind of jumbles together. And then like...
And I think my parents are probably at that point in their marriage of like...
Yeah. Because like on vacation, like for me, I mean, I guess it just depends on...
What card you use.
Right. I was like, because if I just pull out my card to pay for groceries, okay.
Yeah.
Instead of the household card. Like, it's just like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But that's just how now I do have friends that have just flat out conjoined everything.
Yeah.
Now, I think one of the reasons I don't like that is because I would want... if I ever wanted to do something for my husband, he has every record he could see of what was spent on. So like and he would be able to see that money is gone.
No, it is being like, or even like the like if you have mobile banking, like I do, if we had a shared account, I'd be like, huh, he spent $40 at the flower shop?
Yeah.
Like,
no, exactly.
Yeah.
You would be able to know. And like, I mean,
he cash.
He went to Chipotle tonight and bought and I'm not even home from work, and he bought $45 worth of food. Like, I know that just wasn't on himself. Like, you get home, there's Chipotle, and now you ruined it.
Well, and that's the thing.
There's just no room for surprise.
So that's the way that you just explained it is exactly how I have envisioned it being for me and my partner.
Of just conjoining it?
No. Of having like my account, his account, conjoined account
Yeah.
that like goes towards our finance, like our mortgage, utilities, yada yada.
Yeah.
Groceries. But at the same time, when my mom said that theirs is just like together, I was like, huh. I don't know. I guess that's just going to be a conversation that I have to have with my future partner, being like, how do you want this to work?
Yeah.
This is what I pictured, but what do you tell me how that makes you feel?
I don't know. So
I'm curious how my sister does it.
We should call her up.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. How would you deal with if you felt like your husband was buying unnecessary things? How would you handle that? Even if you felt like, even if it was his account and his money, like in his separate account.
Describe unnecessary things. Like things that genuinely add no value to anything ever. Like just buying random stuff.
Yeah. Just like overspending. Like he gets this chair to go in an office space that he didn't need, but he saw it and he was like, oh my gosh, I want that. And maybe he's like, oh, I want to trade in my car and get a new one. But his car is only like 3 years old.
Lauren, this is a hard one for me to address. Behind you, there stands a mannequin that I bought a couple months ago. You want to talk about buying unnecessary things and how I would address that with my husband? Guys,
there's a naked mannequin.
She is not naked. She has sunglasses and a gold chain on.
Yeah, so if you walk outside in that, nobody would say that you were naked.
Oh, and she has a cowgirl hat. I forgot to put the hat on her.
She does have a cowgirl hat. A chain, shades, and a cowgirl hat.
She looks great. I don't know how much I can actually address someone spending unnecessary money because...
What are those things?
Those I've had for a while. Those are my ukuleles. Those I've had for many years. Those are many years. Anyways. I think I would...
See? They're behind you. It's a mannequin. Does anybody else have just a mannequin sitting in their house?
Everyone buys unnecessary things. Everyone sometimes spends money and looks back on it and been like, what? That was weird.
Overspending.
Right.
What if your husband already has a car, but he wants to get a second car?
For himself?
Yes.
Why?
Maybe he wants to get a motorcycle.
A motorcycle I can understand.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
No.
I don't know. I think that's just a conversation we need to have about like where we are financially and what our goals are and whether or not that purpose or that purchase is going to affect the outcome. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like if we can afford it and
I was
if it's
hoping
something...
an answer, but it's fine.
I was getting there. If it's something that I think that we can afford and it's something that they really, really, really want, then sure, do
like
it.
A
Whatever.
Mannequin?
Like a mannequin.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? How would you address that?
I would be honest. I would just say, hey, like, I don't really know if, like, it's kind of like a mannequin in your house or like a vacation, you know? Like this is money we could be putting on a vacation.
It was
I know
not
was
that
not...
big of a purchase.
No, I know.
The only reason that I got it was because
there's no need to get defensive.
I was kidding. A store in the mall was closing. I was walking past it. They were selling everything. They were selling tables. They were selling shelving. They were selling all the clothes and shoes and hangers. They just happened to be getting rid of the mannequin. And she's chipped, as you can see. So I also got a discount.
Could you guys imagine just seeing Whitney walking out of the mall holding a mannequin?
I have a video of it. Really? Well, and my sister was there. She helped me.
Oh, okay. It's just hilarious. No, Whitney, I love your mannequin. You know that. I love it. She's beautiful. Well, I don't know.
I don't make that many impulsive decisions.
No,
like shopping.
You are not a bad spender.
I'm not a bad spender.
Well,
I
don't think so.
No, I'm really good.
That's good.
I've had things in my Amazon cart for months that I do really want, but I'm like, we need to hold off. We need to wait. Like, it is something that I really, really want, but I have other goals that I'm trying to hit right now.
That's fair.
And then once then we can.
What do you think about being a stay-at-home mom?
I wouldn't do it. I can't. I'm way too much of a workaholic.
Either, bro.
If my husband wants to be a stay-at-home dad, cool. If we can afford it, do it. Absolutely. If you want to cook and clean and take care of the kids and do all that good stuff, great. And then once they're old enough to go to school and you want to pick something else up, great. I don't think I could be a stay-at-home mom. I get way too bored.
Same.
Unless I had like a legit side hustle that I was doing.
Yeah.
As well.
I don't see either one of us being a stay-at-home mom.
I didn't tell you about the side hustle I wanted to start. Remind me after this. There's one that I want to do.
Okay. Got it. All right, well, that's the top 5 boundaries in relationships. Anything else you want to say?
I just think being able to set boundaries means having healthy communication with your partner and having good confrontation skills, being able to establish what you need and what you want, and having the space to acknowledge and respect each other and what you want.
Agreed. Yeah, and like Whitney said before as well, like, it also says a lot about that person if they can't respect one boundary that you set, or they can't, they just don't respect you as a person. So find that person that always will and never compromise your values.
And I think if you're in a relationship and there are certain boundaries that you guys just differ on, then maybe that's not the relationship that you need.
Yeah.
Because I think your forever partner, like, you'll align in a lot of those things.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're like, no, this is something that I need, and they're like, that's something I can't give you, then...
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
Anyways, I think that's all I have on my heart. Anything else you want to share?
Did you want to tell them about...
I'll just slowly keep hinting at it.
Okay. Anyways, okay, thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for listening or watching.
Oh, I don't have anything
Okay.
to say.
Okay.
That I know of.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, guys, for listening or watching. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at podcast.personalopinion or
Facebook and YouTube at Personal Opinion Podcast. Also, this is the 25th episode.
Yeah.
25, the big 2-5.
We're a quarter of the way to 100.
Year.
A hundo.
Year.
We're at 25 cents. We're a whole quarter. We're a quarter.
Wow.
Wow.
Only if we had a penny for every episode.
Oh my gosh. What if we did that? What if we got a little dish, had a penny for every episode?
Tell me why I thought about that right when you pointed at that thing.
Like
I saw you say, and I was like, oh my god, we should put a jar. I thought of a jar, you thought of a
like an
plate.
ashtray kind of thing.
And we stack it up, or you just want to put it in there?
I just want to think.
Oh.
Think, 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 think.
Okay.
Happy Monday.
Or any other day that you're watching this podcast. We
And
hope that you're tuning in and enjoying it.
we will see you guys next week.
I've got your back.
I've got your back.
And we've got your back.
Let us know what you want us to talk about.
That too.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.